Good morning, everyone. Okay, I was making sure I was unmuted. We'll give another minute for everyone to pop on here. All right, I'll go ahead and get started. My name is Rachel Vaughn. I am the Market Center Tech Trainer for 2 market centers in Central Ohio, KW Capital Partners in Worthington, and then KW Excel in Westerville. Today we are going to be going over designs. This is where you create your marketing pieces in Command. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. If you have any questions throughout the process, just let me know. I don't mind being interrupted. I like to kind of give a little disclaimer to everyone. Command works best in Google. You can use Microsoft Edge, you can use Firefox, you can use Safari, but it works best in Google Chrome. So if you are a Mac or Apple user, make sure you have Google Chrome on your iPad or your laptop, just because it's going to work best there. If you use it in the other web browsers, it might get a little glitchy. So as always, we want to use Google. Agent.kw.com is going to be the quickest way to get you where you want to go for Command. You'll use your Command user ID or your KW username and password to sign in. And when you get logged in here, you are going to see your home screen. If you are newer and or just not use Command at a high function, and having words next to the icons helps you remember better, you can click on the KW and it will expand and show you what everything is. Again, you click on the KW for it to go away. Today we're going to focus on designs. This is the little square with the paintbrush, so I'm going to click on that. This applet is one of the best that you can have in here for a marketing standpoint. Everything's templated for you. You can add as little or as much, change as little or as much as you want. So that is the beauty of Command. It makes it as user-friendly as possible when you're at a crunch, but it looks professional, it looks nice, and you also have the freedom to change as much as you want. So when you click on designs, you're going to see the dashboard here. These are all things you have already created. So if they're popping up down here, those are your design templates. So there's email, social, which is social media, print, and then video. So those are the 4 you will see here. And then any little updates will come right here. They just want me to complete my marketing profile. I'm not going to worry about that right now. So again, these are all the saved ones. These are not the templates. These are things you've already created. So if you want to create something, you're going to come down here in the bottom right corner where the plus sign is and click on that. And then you will have your options to choose from. Now notice that the option that you're choosing is in this teal, blue, green color. So if I click on social, you'll see it changes colors. That's how you know which one you clicked on. And then as you've noticed here, there's another option that was not across the top, and that's importing PDFs. So you can import and edit PDFs in Command as well. So if you have an old document or something that you want to change and you don't have Adobe, or you don't have a way to edit it in its natural form, then you can import it into Command and edit it that way. And just to be mindful of that, if there are fonts on the document that it does not recognize, it will reformat it. So it is something that they do have. But first we are going to go into email. So these are the pretty emails, as I like to call them. These are for your email campaigns and for your smart plans. These are the pre-templated emails that you can put text, you can put video, pictures, links, hyperlinks, all kinds of stuff in there. You can put listing information. You can literally put anything you want in this. So when you first click on them, there are KWRI templates, and then you have, again, your design templates. So these are ones you've already created. And then the KWRI are the blank ones. So as you scroll through, you'll notice a few different types and styles. So when it says like a modern or approachable, those classic, those are going to be your, well, most of them, I should say. Like it says newsletter A, newsletter B, those are going to be your empty templates that just have boxes there for you to fill. So that means you're going to put in the text, you're going to put in the links, you're going to put in the images. Whereas some of these down here, like virtual home tours, tax day, protect your credit, refinancing, that has all the images, all the text, all the content you would need, and you can just either tweak it or you can put your logo on it and send it out. So there are a few different things to choose from. So you can do like pre-made ones. Those would be like your market leader type emails that are already ready to go. You can add local information if you want, but all of the information is pretty straightforward. So there's not going to be a whole lot to change. So we're going to look at one of those first, just because those are quick, those are easy. You don't have to spend a lot of time tweaking these. So you just click on it and click next. And this is where you're the editing stage. Each little thing has its own box. If you notice the teal around each box, it looks a little wonky right here, and it's a little off-putting. This is not what it will look like in the end result. So like I said, everything is already set up for you. Make sure that your marketing profile is complete, and you can find that in your settings, under connect settings. Otherwise, a lot of this information will be blank. So like the Market Center, this will be the Market Center logo. That needs to be in there. And then down here, all your agent information needs to be in your Market Center profile, or I'm sorry, your marketing profile. All of that stuff will auto-populate as long as you have it in your marketing profile. Same with your app link, which it should be in there by default. So like I said, all of this information, this was to get sell ready. So all of that information is already in there for you. You really don't have to do anything to this if you didn't want to. Say you do want to tweak the text some or change the picture, anything that you want to edit, you just click on that box. These two little icons will pop up. The pencil is to edit, the trash can is to delete. So we'll click on the pencil. And I'd say I just want to make this a bigger font than what it is. So let's go up here and we'll do 20. So for text and the editing of the text, there are a few different fonts to choose from. Font size, these are like merge fields in Smart Plans if you're familiar with those. So basically it's just going to auto-populate that information no matter who it sends it to. So obviously agent first name is going to put your name in there, but there is KWLS number, you know, all of that info, contact first and last name. So you could put, hey, and then add that merge field in there, and it will say, hey, Jim, hey, Joe, hey, Susie, hey, Betsy. You know, it's going to personalize it and make it not look like a automated, which I feel like this one is pretty, it's nice. So I don't feel like this would be automated looking, but that's just one more step further to further drive it home. You can bold, italics, underline. This is font color, orientation of your text. You can do like a number or a list if you want to do any indentation, and then the hyperlinks as well. So if you do hyperlinks in like Gmail or your KW email, where you basically highlight the word and link that word to a website. So that's what a hyperlink is. And then once you've made your changes, you like it, you're going to hit done. Everyone wants to hit save. Do not hit save, hit done. When you hit save, it saves the overall, not what you're doing on the right-hand side. So then you have to redo everything you just did. So make sure you hit done, and then it will change over here. Again, when you're in here and you're changing it, you'll see changes over here, but you may not see them here. They won't update until you hit done. And another thing to note, especially with the text, is it may look a little wonky over here on the right side, but you want to go off what it looks like on your left side of the screen, just because that's what your clients are going to see, or whoever you're sending it to. So again, you can change as much or as little of this as you want. And then once you think you've got it, you want to preview what it will look like, you can either click the eyeball right here, or you can go up here to options and hit preview. So as you can see, my logo populated there. I made the font bigger. I scroll down. This is my photo, headshot photo that's in my command, just because I'm not an agent. This is the only information I have in my marketing profile, so that's why it looks so little. I don't have my website in there. And then if you have links or anything in the preview, you're not going to be able to click on them, just because this is just a image of what it's going to look like. As you scroll down here, all my market center information is in here. And in my information, if you notice this team logo here looks like a broken link, that is because I don't have a team logo in my marketing profile. If this is not okay with you and you're not on a team, or if you don't have a personal logo, then just find a KW logo like this and you can put it in there. So at least it looks finished. It doesn't look broken. It doesn't look like something's wrong. So if you don't like this, because it will show up like this in the email. If you don't like this, then just upload a KW, and that's again in the marketing profile. So we're looking at this in the computer view. You can switch it up here to like a tablet or iPad view to make sure it still would look okay. And then again, the phone view, which, let's be honest, most of the time this is probably how it's going to look, just because we are so invested in our phones. But no matter what it looks like, it looks good to me in all of them, in all the settings. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the X. I'm going to hit save. You can never hit save too many times. We all know, and I'm sure we've all experienced technology on its finest days when it decides to stop working. So always encourage to hit save, but if you're editing anything, make sure you're hitting done over here first. So if we would want to change the image, again, we're going to click on it once, and then that edit will pop up. Then you have your image over here. So you can click replace if you want to. It's going to pull up your photos that you've previously loaded into command. You can search for listing images. You can upload your own images if you want. We'll use that one. So we'll click on it and click replace. And you can make it a hyperlink if you want to. So meaning you can make the picture a link. If you click on the picture, it'll take you to whatever website if you want to, landing page, merge tag, or web address. You can change the size of the photo. Just be mindful of this, that you have to manually change both. It does not auto adjust based on one number you put in the other. So that is something to think about. Border radius, it just puts kind of like a curve around the corners. So up to you if you want to use that. And then position, so center, left, or right. So I'm going to put that there and hit done. As you can see, it's somewhat reformatted and looks a little wonky. But for right now, I'm just going to leave it there. If you would want to, you could change the size. So yeah. So I hit done. So again, I'm going to click save just to be safe. And then I'm going to go to options and hit preview. Everything looks good to me. So I'm going to take this one step further, and I'm going to send myself a test email. That way I know for sure I can check all the links. I can make sure nothing looks weird, because sometimes things can get reformatted as they go through, like Google or Yahoo or wherever they're reading their email, which there's no way to possibly know every single one unless you have an email for every single platform. But just another way to see it outside of command. So I'm going to go back up here to options, and that send test email. And then you're just going to type in an email address. Now, if you have a merge field tag in your text, even when you send the test email, that will not pop up, like that will not fill. So say I had a merge tag in here, it said, hey, contact first name. When I receive the test email, it's gonna say, hey, contact first name. It's not gonna say my name. That is because when you're doing a test email through this, it does not have the capability to read that information. It doesn't know my name. It doesn't, so if you see the test email and you're like, oh no, it's wrong, something's not working, that's not correct. Anytime you're doing an email campaign or smart plan, I always recommend you put yourself on it just so you can see what they're seeing. That way you have it for reference if anybody would respond to it or say something about it, not necessarily either the content or not. So always put yourself on your campaigns and your smart plans if you don't already. So I'm going to go ahead and check my email. They do come pretty quickly within a minute or two. So it's going to say your name, test email, template, test email is what it says. So I'm going to click on it. And this is what it would look like if your client was receiving it. Everything looks good. I'm going to test my download my app link. Everything looks good. How you know it's the correct link is your picture and name should pop up right here. So that's how I would test all my links. I'd physically click on them, make sure they were correct, they went to the right place, and that website looked okay. So everything looks good. I'm going to go back to command. I am going to hit save and exit. And now it is right here. So when your templates are organized based on the date that you last updated them, so it's going to pop up here first. So then I'm going to go back in and we're going to make some more. I want to show you the templates, go through a little bit more. So I'm back in the email. I pushed the plus sign, clicked email, and I hit next. There's all kinds of stuff in here. If you're a luxury agent, you can find luxury email templates in here as well. They are, I love them. So if you have access to these, use them. If you happen to have access to these and you're not a luxury agent, make sure you delete the luxury logo at the bottom if you want to use them, just because you shouldn't have that designation there if you're not a luxury agent. So, but I don't know if everybody else has access to them or not. So just thought I'd throw in that disclaimer. So we have classic buy versus rent, seller lead conversion touch. I mean, there's all kinds of, there's holiday ones in here, event invitation, buyer leads, for sale, featured homes. So like these, you'll use a lot. Birthday, home anniversary, work with me, promote your app. So to put, open house one, there's like classic, approachable, that kind of stuff. So those are just different, I guess, formats or layouts of the templates. So I'll do open house classic, and I'm going to click on it and choose next. So this is the template that you give it. So this is where you put in more information than you do the ones that are kind of pre-filled. So again, my logo is fine there. Open house, I'm going to change this to Sunday, May, what's the Sunday, the 16th? May help I know how to spell. 16th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. So I'm going to click done, and that changed it black. So we're going to go back. We're going to highlight this. I'm going to make it white. If you are going back and editing text, like I did when I click on it and edit, it looks like it's not there because it's white now. Make sure you highlight the text first before you make the changes, just because since it's already there, it may not change what's there. And I'm actually going to make this bigger because I want it to stand out from the rest. And it did not do what I asked it to. And sometimes it gets feisty on you. There it goes. Okay. So I'm going to hit done. Now it's there. Okay. So I'm going to click on the street name. We're going to change that. I'm just gonna and I'm just making up numbers here because I do not have a house for sale or anything like that. We're just going with it. So we'll keep that. So photos. So since this is for an open house, I'm gonna click edit and I'm gonna click replace image and I'm gonna find listing images now. So across the top, again, we have my images, listing images, and add images. So if you have external, you know, if you had photos done of your listing, you can add them here, or if you want to pull them from KWLS, if it's in the MLS, you can do it here. So you just click listing images, then you're going to do a property search. I don't know if it'll go by. This one works. So you're just gonna click on the arrow and it's gonna give you all the listing photos. So I'm gonna choose, I'm gonna write this address down real quick because it's gonna go away as soon as I close this. Okay, so I'm gonna choose this photo first and hit replace. I'm gonna hit done. I'm gonna scroll down a little bit, click on the next one, edit, replace. You're gonna have to go back into listing images. You're gonna type in the property address again. Go back in. I'm gonna find another photo. We're gonna do the, I don't know. We'll do the kitchen. And for these, you're going to want to use photos that are enticing. Because again, this is all marketing. You want it to stand out. You want it to be eye-catching. So you're not going to want to use photos of the closet or something that's not very attractive. We'll use the bathroom. Why not? That kind of accent wall is kind of cool. So again, I'll hit done. Okay, so you see how it looks wonky here? We're gonna see, let's not use that photo. So those blocks that are in there, those are image blocks. Actually, you know what? We're gonna change it just so I can show you. So this image block is set up. So the image has to fit within this square. So as you can tell, this was a vertical photo. So it kind of smushed it to fit in that block. So if you want to make it bigger, you're going to have to delete this box and then come over here and you're going to click and hold on whatever block you want to add and drag it over. Wherever that line falls is where that green line is where the box is going to go. So I don't know if I just made that smaller. We'll see, because it was within the text box. So it's gonna fit within there. So let me see here. We're gonna try this one instead. And see, now it's huge because it's gonna go to its original photo size. So we're gonna click edit and we're gonna resize this. So we're gonna make this, I try to do whole numbers. So I'm going to make this 550. So I'm taking away 200 and then I'm going to make this 299. That way I know it'll stay proportionate to the size. And yeah, so we'll go with that for now. Well, let's make it a little bit smaller. I'm just going to take 100 away. Again, this is my way to know it's going to stay proportionate. And we'll go like a little wonky retro look here. And then we have our text. I've had this happen to me a couple times, so I like to say they put this in here as filler. You did not find some template that's in another language. They just put Latin in there just to, I don't know what it says, but it's in there as a filler just so you know where the text boxes are. You'll just hit edit, delete whatever. Newly renovated kitchen. you know, whatever features you want to highlight for the home. I don't need this one, so I'm just going to delete it. So I am someone that likes my text to be centered. So I'm going to come in here and center this text. To me, it just looks better. Up to you how you want it, but that one should be fine. Okay. So we're gonna, view listing. So again, we need to add a link in this. This is a button. So they click on it and it'll take you to the link. So I'm going to click edit. You can change what's on here. So if you want to be a little more call to action, you can't use any special characters or more than 25. So click here. So we'll just do click here, or we'll just leave it at view listing. But if you wanted to change it, you can. Then you're going to choose where it's going to link to, landing page, merge tag, or web address. I'm going to choose web address. You can change the size of the button. You can change the font. We'll change it to Roboto. The positioning of the text, the color of the button, if you want it square or rounded, the corners, up to you. So for the web address, I'm going to go to my KW website, and I am going to type in that house. And I always make it a point to use my website, just because why isn't it showing up? Maybe it's pending. No. Interesting. I want to use my website because they're going to hopefully keep looking on it. So maybe that way it just gets them to you. So I don't understand why this 6857. Maybe it's sold already. Okay. We're just going to find a house, see what we can find, just to get the link for you. So this is what you're going to want to copy and paste into that. So I'm just going to highlight it. I hit Control-C on my keyboard, or you can right click and hit copy. And then I'm going to go back to command, and right here is where the web address is going to go. I'm going to click on it, and you can hit right click and hit paste, or Control-V, and then hit done. So then now your button is hyperlinked. Again, all of this information is going to populate for you. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save, and I'm going to click on the eyeball here to click preview. So this is what it's going to look like. That is internally driving me crazy. I would make those the same size, but we're just going to go with it for now. Again, you're not going to be able to click on your buttons here, but everything looks good. You can flip it to iPad or tablet mode and see what it would look like. And then again to the cell phone look. If you like everything, you're going to go ahead and close that. Save her again just one more time. We're going to send a test email. I'm going to put my email in. And then we're going to come here. Give it a minute. It should. Impatiently wait. There it goes. Okay. So I'm going to open that. This is the first one. So I'm going to show the new one here. So this is a test of the new one. So this is what it's going to look like. I'm going to click on the link. Takes to my website. This is the house I clicked on. This is not the house that I originally posted, but just for sake of having a web address. So everything works. That looked good. Again, checking my app link. My name's there, my photo's there. Okay. So I know that this works and I like the way it looks. So I'm going to go back to command and save and exit, and it's ready for your campaign. It's ready for your smart plan. Are there any questions on the emails before I move on to anything else? All right, I'll take silence as a no. Okay, so again, I'm hitting the plus sign. I'm going to go now to social. So this is where you're going to find posts for Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. You can put it just about anywhere. There are different formats of these based on what platforms you're using, so be mindful of that. The wider ones are going to be more Facebook. The more square is the most user-friendly. It works for Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn. I don't know if Twitter has any specifics, but just be mindful if you use Instagram, it needs to be a square or the long story. So just, it'll tell you up here at the top which ones you can choose from, just so you know you're choosing the right one based on whatever format, and it will tell you like this works for this, this, and this. So when you go into the social, it's a little bit different than the email. The rest of everything else that you use in designs will look like this. Email is the only one that looks different. So up here at the top, these are all of KWLS templates. You have your designs. Again, those are the templates that you've already created. And then over here are your brand assets. The brand assets is huge. If you plan on using this for marketing, you want to put a brand asset together. The reason you do is because you use the same colors, the same fonts, or you should be, logos, common pictures, any of that stuff that you're going to use more than once, put it in your brand assets. That way you have it all there. It saves it in here for you. You don't have to go searching for on your computer. You don't have to wonder if the right shade of red or the right shade of black or the right shade of blue is for if you have a logo or certain branding colors. This is going to make your social media, your print, everything is going to look more professional and more cohesive because you're using the same colors every time, and you know you're using the same colors every time. So you can add your colors in here. You can add specific fonts in here if you want to. There are logos. You can add as many as you want. If you want to add them, you just come here and click upload, or you can create new folders within that. You click upload. You can choose where your device would be your computer, Google Drive, Dropbox, Photodexia. I've never heard of, but I'm guessing it's some kind of online thing. If you click browse, it'll open your computer. If you have downloaded it and it's across the bar down, you can click and drag it into this, whatever makes sense for you. I'll just go ahead and click browse. I'm going to go to logos, and I'm going to import all of these. Open, there they all are. Upload files, and now I have all of my logos. And so at any time I create something in Designs, I will always have access to these easily. Smart text. So these are all the common things that you type. Your phone number, your name, your email address, your market center name, anything and everything. If you have a slogan, your website name, all of that. Put it in here. That way you don't have to type it over and over again. Images, any commonly used images that you often use if you have any great like listing photos or any kind of marketing photos that you have the rights to or have created yourself, you can put these in there. Your headshot obviously is a good one to add. just so you have easy access. And again, you don't have to go through and search for hours trying to find stuff in your computer. So elements, these are like stickers, object shapes, icons, whatever you want to upload there, you can. And then videos, if you have any videos, you can upload them. And then files, those are the PDFs. So I'm going to go back to templates. So over here on the left are all of the categories for templates. So my KW app, that's what's up right here right now. So these are all created for your app. Next is listings. There are a ton, coming soon being the newest. So this is a huge thing. For sale, just listed, just sold, local expert. So you can kind of show yourself off, show your market center off. And there's a ton of things in here. And as you see across the top, it'll tell you social wide, social square, and social stories. So social wide, if you click on it, it'll say wide format is for Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Social square is for Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn posts. Social stories, it's for Instagram and Facebook stories. So it has different sizes to meet all of those social media requirements. So it's covered across the board. Spring selling season, price updates, which I'm not sure how often you guys are using those right now. Under contract, if you want something, to promote that something's under contract, you can do that. So there's a ton of stuff in here. Again, buyers, if you want to promote Keller Mortgage, neighborhood snapshots, these are cool. It's a lot like the Neighborhood Nurture Smart Plan or the neighborhood snaps that you can send people, that kind of stuff. It's the same information. Lead generation, so client love, there's holiday, birthday, home anniversary, all of that. Client testimonials. If you are not using these, you're missing out. You need to give other people's opinions of you on your social media. Event invitations. So all of this, again, is completely customizable. You can change the font, you can change the color, you can change the images. So, or you can just plug in your information. So you can keep it as basic. And if you're not tech savvy or not super creative, you can keep it to the T and just put your info in. Or if you are super creative and want to take it and amp it up a notch or change things, you can. So it's the best of both worlds. So there's a ton of stuff in here. If you want to promote Red Day, which is Thursday, it's in I Love KW lead generation all across the top here. So again, business basics, there's email signatures and social branding. So your cover photos at the top of your Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter accounts. Those are here for you if you're a newer agent and trying to get your business pages branded. Again, if you're a luxury agent, there are some property marketing and tools in here. And then down here in collections, always new designs, check those out just because it's going to have a lot of the holiday stuff. Anything new is going to pop up in here. So, and then the pivot, just cool little snippets that you can throw in there. This can help boost your social media scheduler if you need spots to fill for content. So literally they're ready for you. You just put your logo on it and it can be good to go. So tap into this, spend some time looking and seeing what you like. I'm going to open one of these just to kind of give you an idea of how these work. So I'm going to do Social Square. Again, I personally like the square because it covers the most platforms. And I'm going to choose, we'll do this one. So you're just going to click use in the top right corner, and it's going to open up the design space, and it is through the website called WeBrand. So again, if you've noticed over here, you have images, text, icons, logos, and KWLS. So obviously this is for coming soon. So we are going to put this information in from KWLS. You can change the colors if you want to. Again, you can change the font if you want to. All of that stuff is up here. Again, if you click on it, the color is up here. You want to go ahead and put your logo in there. So I am going to click replace. So do replace logo and it will reformat it to fit that area. Not saying you can't just do add, but I find doing the replace works better. And then you can adjust it a little bit or a lot depending on what you feel. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to come over here to KWLS and I am going to search for my listing. So you can do address, MLS, KWLS ID, listing agent, or co-listing agent. I think these are newer. I haven't seen that before. And then also the neighborhood snapshots are here as well. If you would want to ever add those are just there by default. So I'm going to type in the address and hopefully it pops up here since it didn't on my website. I don't see it, but that's okay. So we're just going to hit select. And when it first pops up, it's going to show you all the photos. So if I want to replace this image, which this is not the best way to go about it. So if I want to replace something, you click on the original first, then you hit replace. So you know, so it knows where you want it to go. If you don't, if you just click on the photo or click add, it's just going to add it right in front and it doesn't look as good. So I'm going to click on the photo first. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to hit replace image. That's the circle with the arrows. And it's going to, again, reformat that photo to fit exactly where that was. Now, obviously, this looks a little wonky because it's not right where we want it to be. So I'm going to double click on this and it's going to give me this ability to move this image around. So say this was, let me pick a better photo. Let me pick a better listing. We'll do this one. So say I want to do, so again, I'm going to click on this. I'm going to hit replace. So these countertops are dreadful. I'm going to double click on it and I can move this image back and forth. So even if it is a horizontal photo and it shouldn't fit in the vertical or vice versa, if you double click on it, you do have the ability to move the photo around to be the portion of the home you want it to see, and then you hit done. So we'll say that's good. So I'm going to click on where it says street number, street name, and I'm going to go over to listing details. And when you click on that, it's going to give you all the titles and verbiage from the listing in the MLS or KWLS. So I'm going to go ahead and since I've already clicked on the text, I'm going to click replace. And there it is. So it's going to put that information in for me. As you can see, that contact me for more details is in the way. So I'm just going to click on it and pull it down. You may need to sometimes, you know, drag it out some more or move it in more, just depending on what looks right. And then you can also resize it from the corners. So if you want it to be bigger, you can. And then again, I'm just going to give that a little bit of space just because the text is the same color. And you can also use your keyboard to move these around if you want to. So, I mean, you're done if you want it to be. I need to find another photo. This is just not pretty. There we go. That's a little better. So yeah, so obviously you'd probably want to use the front of the house for coming soon, but that's totally up to you. We can do it that way. I kind of like the blue on the garage. So right there. So there you go. You're done. That took you maybe 5 minutes. Even if you didn't know, it might take you a little bit longer, but that's okay. Yep, then you download it. So you have options of a JPEG, a PNG, which those are both image file types. The PNG does give you the ability to do a transparent background if you want. For something like this, I wouldn't recommend it. It's going to mess with it and make it look wonky. But if you had like if you created your logo in Designs or something that you wanted to be able to put on top of another picture, you could do that for, but most of the time JPEG or PNG, it doesn't matter. And you can do the PNG without the transparent background. So whichever you prefer, if there is a preference, there's not one really super better than the other. And then there's also PDF options. So right here is where you name it if you want to rename it. So I'd probably do coming soon 6833 Worthington. I'll say WG. Whatever makes sense to you. You don't have to rename it. Hit download, start download. It's gonna save your changes. It's gonna take a minute. If your computer is set up to just go straight to the downloads, it's gonna download it for you. And as you can see, it popped up here. I would recommend waiting until this pops up before you close out of this, just because I have found that if you don't give it enough time to download and you close out of this, it won't complete the download and it just will never download. So then you got to go back in and find it and so on. So definitely wait till your pop-up, your download functions appear somewhere on your screen, because they should. Whether that's to pop up to ask you where you want to save it or just to show that it's downloading. Make sure it happens outside of command. So that way, you know, your computer has seen it and understand it. So I'm just going to hit done. Once I've downloaded it, it's saved when I downloaded. So I don't need to, it'll save automatically as you go. So you don't have to spend a lot of time in that. So I'm just going to hit done. It's going to take me back to my dashboard once again. And I'm going to click on add. We're just going to keep going. Again, those were the social posts. That's for your social media. You can create all that content and then go into campaigns and put it in the post scheduler. And then we have, last but not least, print. So this is where all of your listing presentation, buyer presentations, flyers, open house flyers, anything that you could possibly print, door hangers, holiday cards, thank you cards, all of that's in there. Again, all of the categories are on the left-hand side, and then also across the top, it's going to give you the different sizes. So there's flyers, which is 8.5 by 11, trifolds, bifolds. This one's 11 by 17 height or horizontal, vertical, 4 by 6 postcards, and then door hangers. So those are just in the coming soons. So again, you have your app, you have listings, buyer, lead gen. So if you wanted to do the, you know, thank you cards, event invitations, holiday greetings, their home value, if you wanted to send those out. I love KW. So if you are a transferring agent, if you're going from one brokerage to another, even if it is a KW brokerage, this can be a good way to announce that. And then something super, super cool is your personally branded magazine. So something new to Designs is that you can now order prints from Designs. So you can order these magazines. You can order some of the prints. I believe it's like single sheet prints. I don't think you can do listing presentations yet. But you can order multiples and have it printed, and they will mail them to you. They don't disperse them like they do in campaigns. It'll come to you. I haven't tested it yet. I'm working on that as we speak. I'm going to print some stuff from command to see how it looks. So that is an option for you. I don't know of any agents who've printed the magazine yet. I've heard from other regions and they've loved it, but it's all templated for you, and you can choose to add as many of the pages as you want. And I'm actually going to use this because I haven't seen the Q2 magazine yet, so I want to check it out. But for newer agents or just any agents in general, if you don't have a listing or buyer presentation already pre-made, then you're missing out with the way that the market is right now. So go in here and put all your information, the Market Center information, stuff that wouldn't change no matter what listing or buyer presentation you went on. That way you can be ready to go, and you can just put in that pertinent information for that specific appointment. And then the great thing about Designs is you can duplicate your design. So you put basically the original or carbon of the buyer in the listing presentation, and then you just duplicate it, and then you can change that information. So your original information will always stay, and then when you make new ones, it's there for you. So I'm going to do the planting the Q2 magazine. I'm going to click use. So it will pop up and tell you if you can order prints, and that's up here. We'll get to that here in a minute. So the template pops up over here on the left-hand side. If you scroll down, you'll see all of the pages that are available. Something you have to be mindful with things that are multiple pages is you have to add the page in order for it to go into your magazine or your presentation. So down here at the bottom, you'll see it says pages 1 of 1. So you have to click add to add the page. So now it says 2 of 2. So I'm going to go down here, or I'm going to come over here. I'm going to make my edits. I'm going to click on this. I'm going to go to logos. Sometimes it's wonky. So logos. And I'm going to put my square logo there. I'm going to make it a little bigger because I want it to really pop. Make sure you are following your compliance and everything for that. I am going to, I wanted to crop it, but that's okay, because it's cutting off my planting roots. Okay, we'll just make it a little smaller. There we go. So then again, you can go into your text. These little things may pop up, and those are just helpful guides to tell you what you can and can't do. So I'm going to go into my assets. I'm going to replace my name. And then your office name, whatever, or your team name, if you wanted to. You can edit that. You can edit that. It's not going to let me get rid of this. You can change this if you wanted to. You can change some of the verbiage. Just know with the magazines that some of the stuff, like the articles, are embedded in it, so you cannot change those. But it allows you to add local information, like if it's talking about your HVAC system, it's going to allow you to put local HVAC people in there. Why is this not letting me go away? So once you have your first page, your cover sheet or whatever, you're going to want to go back to the next page. And you're like, well, where did it go? You're going to come back up here to templates, and then you're going to add the next one. So add a new page. So now you notice down here 3 of 3. And if you ever want to see your pages, you can come up here and look for them. For some reason, Designs likes to give you this white page. You can just delete it. It doesn't, you don't need it. So I'm going to go back down, minimize that. Note from, again, going back to text, assets. I'm going to put my name in there. You can change your logo, or if you want to change it up here. I mean, it's that easy. If you take that little bit of time to put all of your assets in, you're just clicking replace. You don't have to put a whole lot of effort into it. Then if you want to physically replace things or type things, you just double click and then you can type. But I'm going to fix that because I don't want that. There we go. And then we'll go back to the template again, and we'll add the next page. And the great thing is about it, you can add as many of these pages or as little as you want. And you can go through, say you want to change this photo, you can click on it and you're going to go to images, this company link. So you have royalty over a bunch of photos. They're nice and professional looking that Keller Williams has for you. So you can look under miscellaneous, holidays. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff in here. Lifestyle at home. So So if you wanted to put that in there, or if you wanted to, there's all kinds of photos in here that you can use. If you scroll back to the top, you can go back to the folders, house exteriors, if you want to put a photo up there, whichever. Again, if this is cropped out, you double click on it, you can adjust whatever makes sense to you and what you like. So just know that those are all there under company. Same with text. There are same with icons. There are stock. Same with logos. So events, red day, luxury logos, other logos, labs, if you're in labs, KW logos. Those are just the generic. Those won't have your market center info with them, but just know that those are all there as options for you. You don't have to upload or have assets. They have some for you. So you're going to keep going. You're going to add what you like. We're going to add that one. Okay. So then once you go through and everything looks appropriate, you like it, it looks good. Let me pull this back down. You're going to come up here to order print. Size design is not suited for print. It's probably not enough pages. That's probably what the issue is. So you can either click resize, which didn't do anything, explore, or you can download a PDF. You can also do that here, get PDF. So if you don't want to print them, you can, there are some websites that can create, like it actually looks like a magazine and it turns the page like a magazine. So you can even do this virtually if you don't want to spend the money right now. Let me add stuff to it just to see if it's long enough. It's not going to be in the right order, but now, as I was saying, to make sure you hit add. So if you don't hit add, so right now I'm at 7 pages. I'm going to say I just click on this one and it'll let you edit all of this information. But as soon as you go over here, see, it did not add that. So if I go down to the pages, it's not there. So make sure that you are absolutely clicking the add new page button. Otherwise, it won't save everything you just did. So I'm gonna, let me try order print again. The size. So looking to print. I don't understand. Oh, okay. We'll follow up with you. That's good. Don't click on that one. That must be new. Anyways, let me see if I can find, let me do like a flyer. Maybe it's not working today. I'll do a for sale. Just a disclaimer, I'm not 100% on the turnaround time for these, so I would not do something that you just listed if it's going quickly. So we'll just try order print. I'll change it. Okay, so this one's gonna like me. So when you click order print, there's the standard thickness. You can either do a silk or uncoated. If you hover over the little eye, it's going to give you information. The paper stock protection is a good way to protect your print against scratches and against color rubbing off, especially on heavily colored documents. So it's probably better to have the silk than have it uncoated. And then you will select your number of copies. So anywhere 10, 15, 20, 25, 50, 100. Obviously, the more you buy, the cheaper they are. So we'll say we're going to do 50. So that puts us at $31.70 plus delivery. So I'm going to click continue. And again, this is going to ship to you. This is not going to disperse to everyone you want it to. You will still have to disperse them yourself. And then it'll go through and make sure you double check everything, download a proof, just to make sure. And wait impatiently. I'm not a very good person to wait. Then you agree to the terms and conditions, hit continue. You're going to fill out your information, your email address, contact number, all of that, your credit card information. So the total is $55.38, and that's for 50, so it's a little over $1 per sheet. So you're just going to click place order, and then it'll be mailed to you directly. Whatever address you put in here, that's where it will go. I'm trying to think of anything else in here. The share option is here if you do want to share the product. I don't believe anybody can edit it though. So if you're on a team, this function sharing between teams is not available right now. So just make sure that if you want each team member to have their own version of this, you'll have to make them all, or someone will have to make them all. But the good thing about it is the template's already in there, so it can look identical if you wanted your team members to only use them. But if you wanted to be able to share that image and just give the already made image to somebody, you can do it this way. Do I have any questions for designs? I know that's a lot of information to throw at you. Okay, I want to show you quickly where you update your marketing profile. It should tell you right here if it's not done, but if it doesn't for whatever reason, you're going to click on your name and you're going to go to settings, and you're going to go over here to connect settings, marketing profile. This is where this information all pulls, those emails, and where all your information auto populates, it pulls from here. So you want to make sure that everything's accurate and up to date in here. So again, your photo, team logo, that was the area that looked broken. So if you don't have a team logo, or if you're an individual agent and don't have your own logo, just put a KW in there, or your market center logo. It's whatever makes the most sense to you. That way, if you don't want it to look broken. Then all of your information, your bio, all of that can be updated, market center information. Yeah, so as you scroll down, you can put extra stuff in there, your social media links, all of that. And then if you do any updates, hit save. So that way it will be up to date. And that is where you would update that. All right. Anything else? We are a little early, but I won't keep you and keep showing you the same stuff over and over again. Any questions? All right, well, I hope you all have a great day. If you have any questions for me that pops up, let me know, or reach out to your Market Center Tech Trainer and they'll be happy to help you. It's my pleasure. Have a great day. Bye.